Well, it is that time of year. Boy, $59.99. No wonder this has been so popular. Over 13,000 are gone. We've got about 7,000 left for the rest of the day, and it's like still morning on the West Coast. Let me show you the colors. We've got the best choices. So many are so limited though. I don't even think we have 1,000 of any one choice left. This is the tobacco, and by the way, we do have these in your medium or wide widths from 6 through 12. Even the half size is up to 9.5 or 10. And we do have, in fact, there's the burgundy. I love this one. It's so pretty. We have less than 900. Note the quilting. It adds a whole different level of, I don't know, it's a different status level. It's an echelon. I love the quilting. Take a look at my favorite, and that's that winter white. Isn't it just like the perfect boot? By the way, totally waterproof up to the stitching on the sole. And then the whole upper is water repellent and water resistant. So you don't have to worry about trekking through the slush or the snowbanks. It's designed to give you that kind of comfort and keeping your feet dry. Two more colors. We've got them in black. Black is the one I chose to wear today. It's your best bet at this point. Interesting, because we always bring in more black than any other color because it's the one that makes most sense. We also have the winter white as I showed you, and then how about this in the navy? This one is the most limited. There's 500 left. It has been the most popular. It is the most limited. Note the zip all the way down. These are functioning ties, so you can really snug that up nice and tight, whether you wear socks or not. Love this perfect tread on the outsole. So you can see it's that outdoor, you know, designed to really live life the way you love to live it most. And that's being comfortable, that's being stylish, and that's being ready to take on whatever comes along in the day. We've got Laura Duffick joining us today to talk more about that. It's good to see you. Hi.
Yeah.
These are just darling.
Okay, we saw each other in the hall, and you're like, oh my gosh, are these cute?
Love them.
I feel like a celebrity in the halls of HSN because everybody is stopping me going, we love the TS.
It's really adorable.
It is just a fun boot, everyone. We're so proud at Jambu of this, and thank you for being so kind, because right away you pointed out all of the key features on this. You know, when we look at winter boots, and I've done this myself. I look at it, I think if it's cute, then I get it, and then I find sometimes I'm disappointed because I didn't look at the real features of a winter boot, and that's really important, everyone. This is waterproof up to the stitching right here. So from the bottom up to this stitching, this coordinated stitching, that is waterproof. This is water repellent. We're gonna even show that to you. I can demo it for you. But the idea is, this has got all the bells and whistles. It's even got a gusseted tongue to the inside here, so it stops the moisture halfway up. I'll share that with you. I like that you said functioning ties. Where were you last night when I needed that word?
Why?
Because that's perfect.
It wasn't coming.
It wasn't coming. Functioning ties, because you can tighten this, you can loosen it up, you custom fit it, and then forget it, because there's a zipper on the side, and wait till you see this. Are you ready? Voila. On the inside is what we call our microfiber terry. I call it faux fur, because that is a beautiful look. You don't have to wear socks. You just stick your little tootsies on the inside. And the big question I got is, are they hot? I haven't found that. I haven't found that. And I don't have any socks on.
And I do have socks on.
You do?
And I run hot, so that's a great point that's been brought up. And we love that you ask the questions, because we love to give you all the information. I'm wearing socks, and by the way, I'm still wearing my same size, 9. I'm a 9 across the board. I've got not even thin socks on. I've got a nice kind of a medium weight sock, because I think for the winter months, I grew up in, you know, North Dakota, Minnesota, Michigan.
Okay, but you're in Florida now.
I know, for 23 years. But I know what cold is like, and there is nothing worse than being chased inside when your feet are freezing, probably because they got wet. You know, if you do, whether it's because you're sweating a little bit or because, you know, sometimes you're outdoors and you're active and you really do, you know, generate some warmth.
Right.
But they aren't hot.
You know what? It's an interesting thing, because you grew up in a very cold climate. You know that we grew up with boots that were like the Arctic boots that you had for the winter. Not all of us live in that climate.
Right.
Jambu really created a boot that was for everyone. This is if you live, you know, this morning I had the chance to work with Tina. She's from Arizona. She's like, no, this is the boot we would wear that only comes up so far.
That's interesting.
And that isn't overly for, you know, sub-zero temperatures. And I thought, that's a perfect example of being able to have a boot that no matter where you live, if you live in some of our southern states and you say, I just want that great hiker boot for the winter season, this is gonna be it without it being like, well, that's a little intense for, you know, North Carolina, South Carolina. But that's why this boot works so well. And you can see, this is where it is waterproof, once again, up to the stitching. I pointed this out before, and I've gotten a lot of comments on Facebook because it resonates with us. There are some boots out there that say that they can get wet and then dry, which is a great feature. But what are you doing while that boot is drying? You're not wearing it, you're not sticking your feet in that wet boot. The Summit is always ready for you. It's always ready for you to stick your foot on the inside, have it be dry, keep it dry, and now you're noticing that waterproof, water repellent, and I'll show you this gusseting. I learned this. This is something new. You're gonna teach an old dog new tricks, right?
Let's do.
So I open this up. This was one of the lessons I learned about this, which was really big in footwear, and I share this with everyone. This is the tongue of the boot. Do you see where it's gusseted there? Where it's sewn all the way? That means no moisture can get in up to that point.
Yeah.
We've all had where the snow or sleet gets in and it's like, oh, I can feel it on the top of my foot. Now this is gusseted to protect that.
That's a really good feature. And it's one of those details, like you said at the beginning, you don't really think about it until you're frustrated because it doesn't have that, you know? So Jambu really does think about all those practical day-to-day kinds of realities. I have to give you some updates here. This is gonna be such an early sellout, you guys. I can't even believe it. Like 7,000 left. We've sold twice that amount at this point in the day. So needless to say, we always hope a Today Special will go from midnight to midnight. This one's not gonna make it until dinner time, more than likely. So this is the winter white. It's my personal favorite. And don't stress, this isn't, you know, something that, it's not genuine suede, it's a faux. It feels like genuine, but you know, sometimes the feel-good moment is in a better price point, and certainly that, you know, that responsible decision of going something that looks and feels that way. But the quilting on each color is unique and different. On the winter white, I love it because you can see the contrast in the black.
Isn't that wonderful?
It's just, I mean, you know the brands that are doing the quilting. There's like hundreds and hundreds of dollars for a little coin purse.
Okay, now let me ask you this question, because you love this stone white so much. If you're gonna get a white boot, and by the way, I have pictures, I was in a pumpkin patch wearing the white. They were a little scuffed when I got home. Take a microfiber cloth and buff them.
Oh, really?
That's it.
Awesome.
So, I mean, it's very simple when you think about this. What upkeep am I gonna have with a white boot? Here's some of the pictures from the pumpkin patch.
Look at that.
Doing some little picking up moms and having some fun with the pumpkins.
Each outfit is adorable.
It all works. That's the white. Here's my question for you. If you know you're gonna go look, oh, all right, I'm gonna get a pair of white boots, right? Are you spending over $100 on those white boots? Because you know you're gonna be like, well, I'm not gonna wear them, I don't wanna ruin them. Well, then what's the point?
I know.
But if you spend, and not to diminish this at all, because our quality, I think, is superb, $59.99, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna wear them and enjoy them. That's the way it should be. Jambu is almost a 13-year-old company. It's family owned out of New York. It is a national brand that you can find out there. We have an incredible working relationship with HSN. The value that you see today is because two big companies, HSN and Jambu, got together and said, let's blow the socks off of everybody. Let's give it bonuses, features and features and features and features, and make it of the price of a shoe. How many of us have spent $59.99 on a shoe?
For sure.
This is a boot.
This is a boot. By the way, I like the shaft on it too. You mentioned it. 6.5 inches up, so it's just above the ankle. It doesn't even get close to the thickest part of our calves, so you don't even have to be concerned about that. You know what I'm just being drawn to is that tobacco color. That really, you see it on Carol here, left of your screen. Between the winter and white and that tobacco, I don't know. They're both, I just like the rustic.
Okay. Here I got another question for you. It's like I'm interviewing you. When have you ever said, you know what, I really like two colors? $59.99, maybe I get both.
Well, this is a good point.
Yeah.
Because first of all, that'll qualify you to get free shipping on both.
I think that's every reason right there.
$75 is the threshold. And then if you decide you want to keep one and send one back, or change it to a different color, we'll pay to do the free exchange. But these are some of the specifics, 1.5, or almost 1.5 inches in the heel.
Yeah.
I think all you're saying, Jambu thinks about every single feature, and it's
shaft
very
height.
true.
Yeah, about 6 inches on the shaft height, so as you said, not very tall. Shaft circumference, that's what's gonna circle around, is about that 10.5 inches, but remember, the laces customize. How tight, how close do you want it to fit, or how loose, depending on those laces. So these are all the great features, and then the zipper closure. So that once the laces are set the way you want it, the feel of it, forget about the laces. The laces then become the look and the style within the boot. Then you've got the zipper on the side, because that's gonna make it simple and easy to be able to get in and out of. We've gotta talk about that insole. It's one of our trademarks at Jambu. That is memory foam. That means when you step into the boot, it feels so good right away on the inside. But the memory foam this time, we've done something very different. We put EVA underneath the memory foam. EVA is what they put in athletic shoes. And that's for that shock absorber, right? So as you're bouncing, as you're moving, as you're walking through the day, it's absorbing the pressure you're putting on your feet. Remember, there's almost 30 bones, muscles, and ligaments in the feet. These are APMA accepted.
That's exactly right. Thank you for mentioning that. Obviously, at this price, you don't find that. Obviously, this is also a today special. Tomorrow it'll be $30 more. But thank you, because that's a big endorsement.
It is. It means foot doctors have said, yep, this is good for your feet. It's designed by the insole and the outsole to be really, really good for your feet. And these are exclusive to HSN.
APMA is American Podiatric Medical Association.
Correct.
So really important. Thank you. I forgot to mention that earlier. It is update time though, folks. I'm going to let you know, if you want the navy blue, you have to do it right now. There's less than 500. And we're starting to lose some sizes. Here's the navy blue. It's just a really pretty, really classic navy. And of course, you'll get up close and see that it's got its own bit of distressing. It almost looks like it's been around for a minute to tell you some stories of some adventures that you've enjoyed. But that's your navy blue, very much the first that's gonna be selling out. The tobacco, I love this one. It's got that distressing. It looks like you're it's vintage.
It's vintage.
That's very good.
It's faux nubuck. These are all man-made materials, so they're meant for durability. They're meant for long wear, and so that's why you kind of have that distressed feel and look to it. This one, the stone white, is kind of a suede-like feel to it.
It is. It really is. The stone white, we've got about 1,000, maybe 1,100, and that's for the rest of the day, folks. Black, #1 fastest seller. So if you want it, we're good to go with your sizing. We have medium and wide widths today. We have this in 6 through the 12. 6 through 12, even half sizes. So there's your black, and then the last color choice is right here in this beautiful burgundy. I love this burgundy too. It's like a deep wine.
Or
There's
berry.
only 900,
Like a cranberry for the season.
Yummy.
Isn't that look fabulous?
You know, this is cute too.
The faux wool?
Yeah.
You know what, we
It's got
wanted that
padding.
around, it's not really around the ankle, it's around the lower calf.
Right.
But it's soft.
It's very padded.
And you want that softness around. There's a little pull tab in the back too, kind of little helper tab that we added in there. Remember, we have women designers. So they look at all these elements, not only comfort, that's our memory sole, look at the bottom of this.
I know.
That's our all-terra traction. So it's about grip. It's about gripping into snow, gripping into wet pavement, gripping into grass, tailgating, football, outings, and you want to make sure that you've got that good surface on the underside. All-terra traction is trademarked. You know why you trademark? Because it's good and you don't want anyone else to have it. And so our all-terra traction is really good. If you want to hike with this, if you want to climb that small little hill, if you want to run your errands through the day and take the kids to the soccer park and you want to do a little sledding, you can do that. This next picture they're going to show, Callie, I have to tell you about this picture. That's actually me. What you're not seeing is I'm in my pajamas. Now, this is full disclosure. On Monday, I get a call from HSN production team, and they said, Laura, we need to see the boot in about 2 inches of snow. And I was like, okay. I know I'm in Minnesota, but it's 80 degrees today. And they're like, we really needed to see it in 2 inches of snow. And I'm like, I don't know if I can help you there. Do you know on Friday it snowed?
No.
That picture was 4 days. It was 80 on Monday, It snowed on Friday. That's Minnesota for you.
Wow, it isn't, that is so weird.
It's so weird, but I went out in my pajamas in my backyard and I got that picture. Wet, mulch, snow, and look at the summit held up.
Oh my gosh, well, of course
My
it
neighbors
did.
will never be the same after that experience.
It's like, who's lurking in the,
yeah, and who's in her
bushes?
pajamas in Laura's backyard? But the summit looked good with the pajamas, I will say
You're
that.
hilarious. Well, you know, I saw Lynn out here with you earlier, and how cute it looked with a dress.
Oh, so cute.
It's so cute. In fact, look at the girls, each one of them. Totally different looks and styles, and you know, that's what we love about this. So true what you said about hiking boots that can be really extreme. They can look like, oh, and they, back in the day, remember how heavy they were?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it was like walking around with 5-pound
Your legs
bricks
actually
on.
ached. Do you know what I mean?
Right,
Your legs
exactly.
ached from
So-
them, but that isn't the case at all,
Hi, girls.
which makes it so nice, gals. You just did such a beautiful job of really
So
showing off all the different ways to wear it.
Look at you, like incognito today.
She looks like Aspen.
That's it.
She's like, I've got a little boutique shopping to do.
Right.
And I need to make sure my feet feel good through the whole experience.
And then there's this, Miss Hita. Like,
Yes.
adorable with the dress.
College students. Think of all the college students and walking on campuses and how this is going to be such a great holiday gift for that college student. I think she looks like she's ready. She's probably ready. She's probably telling everyone she's going to the library, but she's actually going to a frat party. That's probably what it is.
Not you. You would
Not
never
you,
do
not you at all. But yeah, look at her. Look at her with that cute smile on her face. This is the boot to have fun in. This is the boot that there's no break in. There's no, all the models have said to me, Laura, I put them on and they feel good. There's not, I don't feel like I have to have them on for a little while.
It's really true. And oftentimes with a boot, right there where, you know, your, I guess the toes, you know, at the widest part of our foot.
Right.
Where a lot of us tend to get those bunions. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's a good point. You don't have to stretch these out. I mean, this is straight out of the box, and I'm showing you the kind of flexibility right out of the box. And I've got some foot issues. I've been complaining about them for years. I'm gonna have to deal with them in December with a little bit of surgery. But you know what? Right now, I'm telling you, they are so comfortable.
Yeah.
They're light. They're not hot. They're not warm.
No.
But if you're in a cold climate, they are a winter boot.
They are a winter boot. Remember, there's so many features. We talked waterproof, water repellent, the gusseted tongue, all the fashion, the memory foam insole, the all-terra traction outsole. When you buy anything, when it has a lot of features, it costs more. Think about a car. You want all the bells and whistles? Cha-ching, cha-ching. You want a computer? All the bells and whistles? Cha-ching, cha-ching. Footwear is no different, except when it comes to the Summit. The Summit is defying everything that we know about features and bonuses, and the value is there because the construction is out of this world. It's fantastic. It's just today, it's the special.
It's $30 off today. The other thing I was just realizing as I'm looking across the group here, I've got the scrawniest little calves known to man. I mean, it's like, it's a problem. Like no boot. I tried on a pair of knee-high boots the other day that the models had in the room. They fell straight to the ground because they're just little wimpy things, little sticks, but it is what it is. I can tie these as tight as I need to is my point.
Thank you,
So,
thank you.
And same if you've got a more developed calf because
Yeah.
you're more athletic or you've got a stronger leg, you know? I just like the customizability to that right
Isn't
here.
that nice? To be able to say, I can lace it up and I can get that feel that is so terrific. This tobacco has been a winner from the get-go. As a matter of fact, Jambu, when they did all their social media for this, the tobacco was the one that kind of stood out in the forefront. A lot of people asked questions about it. It does have the white racing stripe around the bottom near that outsole, so it really stands out and it coordinates with that wool, that faux wool cuff that's at the very top of the boot. But it's stylish and it's unique. I gotta go back to this value, everyone. No one would ever think that your winter boot that is waterproof, water repellent, feels good, faux fur on the inside, zipper on the outside, would come in at the price of a shoe. Boots, I think we go shopping and we think, all right, I've got a budget of over $100, because that's what you normally think you have to buy a winter boot. You need a budget. into the $100 range.
Yeah.
Today, I've told more people and they went, $59.99. It's like they stop. It's like it doesn't compute. It's like winter boot and 50, it doesn't go together, but today it is.
You do think of like more of a summer like sneaker or, you know, a slip-on kind of loafer at this price point. But this is there's a lot of boot here.
Yes.
There's a lot of boot with a lot of great features. And I'm so excited. So many of you are getting it. Let's see, what are we at here now? Closing in on 14,000 spoken for.
Yeah.
If you want the navy, right there in front of Laura, there's about 400 left for the day. Yeah, almost 14,000. But size-wise, yes, I believe we're losing some sizes there, considering we've got medium and wide widths, and we start at size 6 and go up to size 12 with the half sizes in between. Pick that up if that's your color of choice. The next one over is, I do love this tobacco. I think it just took my favorite #1 spot. I really think that's fabulous. We do have this, oh, there's $8.50 left in the tobacco for the day. Oh my gosh. Here's your stone white. This one, I really do love this. You can see on Hita, just as adorable as a boot could be. The black, absolutely flying. Then the burgundy. This one is so pretty too, and I unlaced it so I could show you how you can really custom how it fits around your calf, whether it's thick or it's not, and then there's that full zipper.
Look at the grommets. How all the grommets that form the actual lace catches. So even that has detail. Instead of it just being, I don't know, a regular loop or a D-ring, now you've got these specialized grommets that finish it off. I will not be surprised, everyone, if you get the boot home and you like sit there for a minute and really examine all angles of it, because there's a lot to see.
And this is another feature that you mentioned. I think it's worthy of repeating.
Okay.
That's that tongue that's been sewn, gusseted, so that the snow isn't going to slip into the boot. It sounds like a small detail, but boy, it isn't when if you've been there. And then while we're in there, look at that soft, fluffy insole.
Micro terry, but I call it faux fur because that's what it looks like to me. That's what it feels like all around your tootsies. It feels so good. And then that memory foam insole is in there with that EVA bottom. So you've got the shock absorber, you've got the feel good, you've got the boot that you can run errands all day long, and your feet and your legs and your hips, because it radiates all the way to the top. If your foot isn't protected, now your foot is APMA accepted, American Podiatric Medical Association. Foot doctors say yes. They've given a big thumbs up, and that's not something they just hand out. Or, I want to state this, you can't buy it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not like Jambu said, you know, we'd like one of those seals, so we'll write a check, and it has to be earned. It has to be acknowledged. It has to be, looked at, analyzed to make sure it fits that bill. And we've received that APMA, which is a big deal.
Jambu is just a great brand. It really is. Starting with, I mean, when you open the box, there's just always like, words of encouragement and, fun to get out and enjoy life. And whether it's being super adventurous and being like the nature girl that I am, or if it's like just living life and chasing after the kids and walking the dog and doing what we do every day, which is always busy.
Yeah, you know what? I had one dear customer write to me and she said, I thought to wear Jambu, I had to climb mountains. And I said, look, you know what my mountain is? If I can get all my errands done by about 3 in the afternoon, I'm lucky.
Right.
But you know what? Everyone has a different life. You may want to get your steps in. Can you use these on a trail? Can you use this around a lake if you have a walking path around a lake? Yes, this is the boot you put on to be able to take that walking path, that trail. If you happen to come across a puddle, go ahead, put the Summit to the test.
To the test, because
you run through those puddles.
We're going to show you again, waterproof up to the stitching. Waterproof up to the stitching. And of course, at the stitching, you've got the water repellency and the ability to be able to enjoy that zipper, which even has that little closed placket so it keeps the wind out. Not to mention, we're going to show you here, we're going to just drip water.
Here, I'll just stick it in there. Let me just stick the boot in the bucket of water here. This is the idea. If you get that toe and that puddle, you're getting out of your car, all of a sudden you step down, oh, I stepped in the puddle. No worries, because right up to that stitching is gonna be waterproof. So, and the rest is water repellent. So you've got that boot that, by the way, is keeping your feet dry and warm at the same time. That's the type of boot we want.
You can see how it's already just drying on its own. Fabulous.
Here, and you know what? If you have to do a little cleanup, I always take this microfiber cloth.
Oh, and there, look at that. It's like,
there you go.
Dry as a bone now. Well, thank you, Laura. We'll see you back at 3.
You got it.
Okay,
Take care,
stay on the
everybody.
line.